Hey guys, welcome back. Today we are talking about Scotland versus the Springboks this weekend on Saturday. It is an early game actually for a Northern Hemisphere tour, but this week is a big one for both sides. Both teams actually had a hard-fought victory and quite a satisfying victory for both countries last week. Scotland, they overcame Australia in a hard-fought victory. The Springboks had a big battle against Wales last week as well, and actually did win there at the end. You can see my dog is busy here next to me, but just ignore him there. Looking at the two starting teams, there is a lot of cap difference for the Springboks. There is 461 caps to the starting team of Scotland, 669 caps to the starting team for the Springboks. So there is basically a 200 cap difference in the favor for the Springboks. Looking at the two starting teams, starting at the front row, Bongi Mbonambi, he continues at number 2. McAnally, he comes in at number 2 for the Scottish team as well. He does probably at line-out time, he is average with his throwing. So at line-out time, Eben Etzebeth and Mostert will want to try and sniff those throws out. Mbonambi, he's been very solid at line-out time. Nche and then Nyakane at number 1 and 3. That's the preferred front row at the moment for the Springbok team. That's the one that they've been picking for a long time now in this, basically for the whole 2021. Pierre Skuman, he's at number 1 playing against Trevor Nyakane, one of his old teammates as well. Xander Ferguson, he's at number 3 playing against Oxenchair. Two big front rows, two strong front rows, but that Springbok front row is very strong. They tend to play 40 minutes, and then the guys coming off of the bench, that front row is just as strong. The second row, getting to Eben Etzebeth and Mostert coming in this week for Loot de Jager. That's a strong front row. It's a front row that's played together also a lot of games. Scotland is going to face the tough opponent here with Skinner and Gilchrist will have to pull their socks up here. The Springboks' line out, they were really struggling in some of their lineouts last week against Wales. The Welsh second row really negated the threat that the Springboks pose at maul time. Can Scotland do the same? We wonder, because Wales, they have Beard that's very good at targeting mauls and defending against it. Skinner and Gilchrist will have to do their best at this one. Number 6, Heining, he comes in. It's quite interesting that Watson isn't going to play in this one. He is an impact player playing from the bench. He will be very strong from the bench as well. Heining probably coming in as another line-out option, because the Springboks have a couple of line-out options. It's Etzebeth, Mostert, and then Vermeulen as well at number 8. So a couple of line-out options as well now for Scotland. Siya Kolisi at number 6. He's playing the rugby of his life. So good at the moment, tackling a lot. He gives a couple of bump offs as well. Really good on attack and defense and organizing his team very well. Kwagga Smith probably had his best game in a Springbok jersey so far last week. So can he continue on that form? We'll see this week against Richie. Dwayne Vermeulen, he's getting a little bit more quiet between those other two flankers, playing very well. So can Dwayne Vermeulen play well this week? Last week, Wales really got under his skin, irritated him a bit, so that he couldn't organize the defense for the Springboks so well at times. Matt Ferguson, he goes at number 8. Then at number 9, Ali Price and Yankees. They know a little bit of each other now at the moment, with both Finn Russell and Ali Price both being in that Lions team, a British and Irish Lions team. Herschel Yankees getting another start this week. I didn't think he did too well last week, probably one of the poor players of the game for the Springboks last week, but he doesn't get a lot of starts for the Springboks, so they are trying to get his game time up a little bit. Elton Yankees at number 10, a lot of people aren't too happy with it. And then on the other side of the spectrum, a lot of people are very happy with it. I'm happy to see him get a start for a change. I don't think Andre Pollard is at the best form at the moment. Not doing a lot wrong, but there is things that Elton Yankees, when he comes onto the park, he is playing better than Pollard, and he's also a little bit more consistent with the boot at conversions as well. So Elton Yankees, he deserves this start. He also is a very flashy playmaker style number 10 as well, up against Finn Russell, who is the epitome of a playmaker style number 10. So we'll see how these two go up against each other. Damien de Allende, he's up against Matt Scott at number 12. Matt Scott playing his first game for the Scotland international team since 2017. He's really good at attack. His defense has went up a little bit now that he is playing for Leicester as well. Lucanio, I'm talking about a guy that is good at defense. Just doesn't miss tackles. And when he gets the ball on attack, you never know what he can do with the ball. There is always these chips that he can put through over the defensive line, and him and Mapimpi is really good at sniffing out those chances. Chris Harris at number 13, another line to look out for the Springboks. At the wings, there is Mapimpi. Like I said, he's a prolific try scorer for the Springboks. He's scored against every international team he's ever played against. Not Scotland yet, like that meme says. Jesse Kriel at number 14. Surprised that he is starting this week. I actually thought we might see Nkosi this week, might see Fassi as well at number 14. But it is Jesse Kriel and Mostert's 50th game this week, so they probably do deserve to start on their 50th game. I mean, they're quite experienced guys for the two teams. Rufus McLean, he's in at number 14 for the Scottish team. Dwan van der Merwe playing against one of his previous teammates in Jesse Kriel. Both of them played for the Bulls at a time, so gonna be a big game between those two guys. Dwan van der Merwe, you really need to shut him down early in an attacking move, otherwise he will give you problems. Dwan van der Merwe, he's good when it comes to attacking threats, when it comes to playing the ball in the air as well. McLean at number 14 does kind of show that they're probably going to play with ball on hand to his direction, because Kyle Steyn would probably be a better option if you want to play a aerial threat or try and sniff out or try and stop Mapimpi in the air. Willie Leroux at number 15. A lot of people, they still do not understand the playmaking ability of Willie Leroux. He's a brilliant playmaker for Springboks, and I think it's great to see him back there as well. Yes, Frans Steyn was amazing last week. He had a man of the match winning performance last week. Fassi is also there on the fringes. I would have liked to see him on the bench at least for this one, but Willie Leroux being very experienced against a guy like Stuart Hogg, who's also very experienced, it is the type of battle you need in this one. Going to the two benches, there's a very strong bench for the Springboks. Last week I highlighted the bench as the one that's probably going to be better than the Welsh bench and is probably going to win the game for the Springboks at the end of the day. This time around, I think so again, though the Scottish bench is a little bit stronger than last week, having a guy like Watson on there as well. Looking at the two front rows, Malcolm Marx, Kitsoff, Koch. I say it every week, that could have been a starting lineup. They can scrum away any team. Malcolm Marx being in superb form at the moment, probably better than Bongi Mbonambi at the moment, but he just brings something different from the bench. He brings a upped intensity and he scores basically every game from a maul, so look out for him. Then it's Ashman at number 16. He was very good off of the bench as well. The hooker replacement for Scotland. He made his debut last week. Batty at number 17. Ollie Cable, another South African, on the number 18 for Scotland. A strong scrummager there. Hodgson, he's at number 19 versus Loet de Jager. He's brilliant at the line-out time. Everyone knows that. Jasper Wiese up against Hamish Watson. It's two different type of loose forward replacements, with Wiese being a guy that you give the ball to so that he can give a crash ball. Watson, a guy that you want to steal some balls at breakdown time. But for the Springboks, they have guys like Marx and Kitsoff that comes on that does that. George Horn at number 21. Kobus Reinach, who was superb as well when he came off of the bench last week. He ups the intensity. He had that longer runs as well. Very quick player. Outside of him, Andre Pollard, number 22, his Montpellier teammate. It looks like we might see Andre Pollard playing centre this week. Might see him play at number 12 this week. We'll see about that. Hastings at number 22. Blair Kingson, and then Frans Steyn at number 23. If he comes on this week, he is going to be the longest serving South African international, playing in his 15th consecutive year of rugby. Guys, getting to the prediction here, they are playing in Murrayfield, probably one of my favorite stadiums, somewhere that I really want to go still in my life. That anthem just at the beginning of the game that Scotland sings is just one of the most amazing things you can experience. But the prediction for me here, I think the Springboks are going to win. It's probably going to be very even up until that bench comes on, as It's been the case for most of the year for the Springboks, and then the Springboks do tend to pull away. I don't think it's going to be a big thrashing here, but Springboks by 8 points. Let me know your prediction down in the comments below. Also, check out these videos next to me. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see more international rugby videos, and then I'll see you for the next one. Cheers.